I asked myself, as maybe some of you had, what made the popular kids at the high school popular? Now, football players were obvious recruits for the in crowd. At least the backfield. A tackle or guard had to insinuate himself in by other means. Say a 59 flat-back Ford jacked up 3 feet high in hydraulics, with an 8-track booming Sugar Shack by Jimmy Gilmore and the Fireballs as his calling card. Now that worked for Albert Graff, a gobbling oaf who once pantsed my friend Benny Chang in the middle of winter on the PE blacktop. But this automotive strategy could work to cross purposes too, as with Ted Perina, a doleful senior with a pepperoni complexion, no achievements, and an Aruga car horn that signals his arrival and only drew attention to the fact that nobody cared. Cheerleaders clearly belonged. They even did their own sorting, making room for Panda Quilby, an otherwise unsuitable, too tiny, figureless dishwater brunette who bumbled, pitched, and toppled to the ground every time our marching band launched into an up-tempo, off-key rendition of Semper Fi. But the squad deemed her cute, and who could argue? Hard cases fell into a subspecies. Henry Eagle, strutting late into auto shop, his juvenile hall t-shirt yellowing at the armpits, his 2-day stubble looking all the more sickening for being soft and blonde like the bristles of a shaving brush. This was not the face of budding in-crowd insouciance and poise. Still, they granted him recognition as an object of alarm, best tolerated until the bell tolled and Henry's times, too, came for the army, prison, or death by helmetless motorcycle mishap. The in-crowd was blessed with superb timing. Bottom kids were easy to identify. Everybody knew who they were, though they sometimes, amazingly, did not. Oblong, freckled, clumsy, nearsighted, and let's face it, stupid Alan Allwater ensnared himself in perpetual ridicule one day in art class by plumily singing to himself, "Don't play with me, 'cause you're playing with fire." Daring to sing that in front of a crowd. Randy Mottram's mother washed his gym clothes with a scarlet towel, dyeing Randy's jockstrap pink, branded forever. Arnold Hines was 30 pounds too fat, so some hard cases stripped off his sweatshirt when he wrestled the equivalently porcine Bobby Degas, their bellies rippling and rolling, crashing into one another in bucketing waves of gristle and lard. Unforgivable. Guaranteed to be beaten, belittled, tripped in the hallway, dunked in the boys' bathroom toilet, backhanded and headbutted on the perilous trek back home, labeled spaz, retard, maggot, faggot, creep, leper, goon, dip, dork, the uncoordinated, the unconfident, the ridiculously small or farcically tall, the ever studious or the blatantly dumb, bedwetters, crybabies, anybody donning a leather jacket and sunglasses without sufficient aggression and indifference to pull it off, anybody whom anybody else, regardless of their status, could successfully label as spaz, etc., without bloodshed or other consequence. Girls were another matter when it came to separating the winners from the losers. Girls operated according to a pattern imperceptible to boys, even the popular ones. Girls made you wonder what all the rules were about. In junior high, when Debbie Hampson's parents took the stage in talent night to play electric guitar and sing Matchbox, just released on the Beatles' Something New, the prospects for lasting dishonor appeared staggering. Yet for reasons undecipherable to all but the inner crowd of in-crowd females, the event was judged a triumph, and Debbie began to walk home from school with Karen Benavides, Stacy Pastor, and Katrina Rodriguez, our school's flat-chested, hair-ratted arbiters of deportment and style. Taking the kind of risk that Debbie Hampson had allowed her parents to assume on her behalf was reckless, foolish, unthinkable, stagey, sly, brilliant, successful, not to be repeated. Yet overnight, certainly over the summer, new members of the in-crowd were stealthily coined. Though only a lowly freshman, Mickey Dupree ran with a pack of older cousins who taught him to smoke, drink, flirt, fight, and, or so he claimed, though I told him I really doubted it, feel up Stacy Pastor in her own living room when her parents went out on Friday night to roller derby. To the countless spies and infiltrators, the in-crowd divulged nothing. Yet in science class, we were learning how the wolf detects her mate, how the ant locates the path winding intricately back home to the nest. Discrete, minute chemical secretions, pheromones, which are nature's way of saying who's ripe for reproduction, whose body knows more than his head. You can't fake it. It's ready or not. We all get a whiff of each other, and we learn